Hello again. So we have gone over lipstick and how to use that as a blush, as well as highlighter. And today will be probably the most advanced, and that will be how to apply eyeliner. So the eyeliners that you have are a twist up kind, so you can twist it up and you don't have to sharpen it. But there are many other kinds of eyeliners. So you can also use like a powder with a brush as eyeliner. You can also get pencils like this. They do require sharpening though, so the twist ups are easier. And then probably the most advanced, which I'm sure you know, are liquid eyeliners. So these look kind of like a pen and they allow you to really kind of swoop the color on. It's really dark, but it does require a steady hand. So if you get really good with these pencils that we're using today, then eventually you can graduate up to these. Before we get started, you're going to choose an eyeliner. There's two colors, so black or brown. Brown will typically have a more natural kind of effect. It will look softer, and if you're afraid of making mistakes, it's a little bit easier to apply. Black is going to be more dramatic, and it has the advantage of drawing attention to the pupil of the eye, which is just the center of the eye that is, of course, a black. At the risk of repeating myself, I'm going to remind everyone again about staying clean. This is even more important when you're working closely with people's eyes, as this is a mucous membrane and is a very easy way to transmit different things. So make sure that you're washing your hands before you start, that you're sanitizing your hands in between steps, and that you are absolutely not sharing one another's eyeliners. Here's a list of what you'll need today. So you should have already chosen an eyeliner, and then you're also going to need Q-tips, Kleenex, hand sanitizer, and micellar water and cotton balls. The Q-tips and the Kleenex are going to help a lot with application, cleaning things up, keeping things straight, and then the hand sanitizer, micellar water, and cotton balls will just be to keep your hands clean. Before we get to the demo, there are a few other things you'll have to keep in mind while you're doing eyeliner today. So first is that the model must be sitting. They can't be standing. When someone is standing, they might kind of sway around, and then it's going to be more likely that you might accidentally poke them in the eye. That's also why you have to make sure that you're not bumping into each other. So if there's a pair that are working and you need to walk past them, just make sure to give them a heads up and try to give a nice wide berth before you try and pass. You also want to make sure that you're taking breaks. So if you're applying eyeliner, give your model a break to kind of blink, just so that they don't get all watery-eyed. And then, of course, you want to be gentle. Many people's eyes are very sensitive. The first eyeliner demo that I'm going to show is that of classic eyeliner. So this is not a winged eyeliner that kind of flicks up, but instead is just an eyeliner that stays close to the lash line or the eyelashes. You can make it a little thicker on the outer corner of the eye, and you can either go all the way across to the inner corner, or you can just stop partway across. This is probably the most universally flattering way of doing eyeliner, and it's one of the easiest, which is why I am showing this today. There are lots of ways to do eyeliner, but today I'm just going to show two. Let's get started with the classic eyeliner. This is the kind of eyeliner you'll be using, which is a twist up. When you're applying eyeliner on another person, you want to make sure that they are at eye level. You also do not want to ask your model to close their eyes. As you can see, this kind of scrunches up the eye, so you don't really have a smooth surface. So instead, you'll get them to tilt their chin up and to look down, like they're glancing down at their lap. Another way to think of this is to think that they're just being a snob, so they're looking down their nose at you. Here, I'm gently using my thumb to just sort of lift the lid. What you don't want to do is to pull the eye out to the side. Instead, you're just gently lifting so that you can get right up against the eyelashes, which is where you want to place your eyeliner. So this helps. You just want to make sure that you're not really pressing down on the person's eyelid. The best way to apply eyeliner is to be patient, and instead of trying to apply the eyeliner in one smooth stroke, it is instead to imagine that you're connecting small dashed lines together. So you can do just a little bit at a time. You can see I'm doing that here, and I'm starting on the outer edge of the eye. This is all preference, but I do find that it's easier to start from the outside and then to kind of work your way in. As you start to move closer to the inner corner of the eye, it is helpful to ask your model to look in the opposite direction. So I'm getting Nala to look over to my left as I work towards her right, so into that inner corner. This mostly helps it feel more comfortable for the model, but it also helps the skin to stretch a little bit more tautly, which just makes it a smoother surface for applying. Now I'll show you how to use your Q-tip. If you've kind of messed up or the line's not super straight, you can just take your Q-tip and use it almost like an eyeliner brush to just soften the edges. So this will turn the eyeliner from being like a very obvious brown or black line and kind of smoke it out. I still do this quite often, even though I've been doing makeup for a long time. So if I kind of mess up, it's just a way to make it look like I intentionally wanted to make it a little bit smudgy. Here is hopefully a closer look at how I'm doing the eyeliner. So you can see I'm just pulling up her eyelid just a little bit so that I can do little dashed lines right next to the eyelashes. You'll also notice that I'm kind of resting my hand on Nala's face, so just on her cheek there. I find this gives me a steadier hand rather than just letting my hand kind of float there. If you're not sure how it's looking, you can just get your model to look straight ahead at you so you can see how it looks with their eyes open. Now go ahead and try this on your partner. If you want to have an easier time applying, you don't have to take the eyeliner all the way across the eye, like shown on the picture here. Instead, you can do what I did actually on Nala, which is just to take it halfway across. Or you could even just do the very outer corner of the eye. Now for the second eyeliner option. I would only really try this if you're feeling comfortable with the first option. This is just for a little bit of fun and a little bit of challenge if you want to try your hand at a kind of winged eyeliner. For both of these looks, keep in mind that eyeliner takes practice, so don't be discouraged if you're having a hard time. And remember that makeup remover with either a cotton pad or with one of your Q-tips is your best friend if you make a mistake. The good thing about makeup is that it's not like cutting somebody's hair. It's not permanent, you can always go back in and fix it. So for this look, you're going to use a Kleenex as a stencil for your eyeliner. So you want to line up the edge of your Kleenex from the corner of the nose to the corner of the eye. I'll show you on Nala here. So I have my Kleenex folded in half, and I'm going to take one edge against the corner of Nala's nose to the corner of her eye. So once it's lined up the way that I want it, you're going to use it like a ruler. So you'll get the person to look down. This will give you a better shape. And then you're going to take the eyeliner and you're just going to glide it right over the edge of that Kleenex. How far out you draw that line is completely up to you. However, the farther you go, the more dramatic it will be. And you generally don't want it to meet with your eyebrow. So I would say don't let it be any longer than maybe 2 centimeters. Once you have the shape you want, you can go back in with your eyeliner and you can add a little bit more where you want to. You can also, the same as last time, use a Q-tip to kind of smudge out what you've done. If you want to actually remove the eyeliner, you can use some of the micellar water on the tip of one of your Q-tips and you can just sort of rub off what you don't want. So you can see here, this just gives you a little tiny wing. So it isn't going to be the swoopy kind, but it gives you a little bit of like a check mark. Here, I'm just making it a little more dramatic. So if we take out that eyeliner using the same stencil a little bit farther, it will just look a little bit more dramatic. So a little bit more like your red carpet or something. You can even see from straight ahead that you can see a little bit more of the wing. The same thing when Nala looks to the side. And then if you want to, you can add a little bit more over top. So if you want to try this out, just remember that this is how you want to place down the Kleenex. Just take your time, be gentle, and you can always go back and fix any mistakes. If you have any questions, you're more than welcome to ask me tomorrow when I give a presentation in class.